Okay. Dan who? Dan double you. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole Who crew, look, they made me do it. If it lands at my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're deluxe. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Hopefully you already are, and hopefully this isn't the first time you've been here. This is the weekly live show, Dan Who Live, where we recap the week that was in Marvel Legends, and we also try and talk about a specialist topic. We dive in a little bit deeper. Today is no exception, as now we officially know that this year's Marvel Legends summer program is Marvel 85-year anniversary. You heard it here first on this channel, by the way. Just saying. Then we are diving in to the Golden Age, okay? So we're breaking it down, and we're going to go way back to the Golden Age of comics. You've seen it in the thumbnail, and talk about some of these classic characters that would make a nice addition to the Marvel Legends line, as there's still some gaps to fill in that summer program. But you know I cannot chat on my own. Here he is. He was the greatest super producer. He still is, to be fair. Now he's the greatest co-host. It is, of course, Rich M. Rich, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You alright, Dan? How you doing?
You got something on your head there, mate. Just There's a wasp. Be careful. I used to be that guy on the bus that would chase wasps with like my shoe. I'd be like the hero of the top deck of the bus, because everyone would like try and sit there all brave. Like, do you know though, like when you're sat on a bus and a bee comes through the window, everyone tries to be all brave and be like, I'm not bothered. But in their head, they're like going crazy. They're like, this bee's going to sting me. I used to be like, forget this. Take my shoe off and just walk around the top deck of the bus chasing a bee. I was a hero. Many other times did I get a round of applause for taking down the wasp on the top deck of a bus. So be careful.
Like Hank Pym, you are.
literally battering wasp. Golden Age of comics, people. What a perfect segue. So of course, Rich, how you doing? You good? Had a good week? Anything interesting?
I've had a good week. Pretty boring. I've been in work all week. What did I go and see in cinema? I went and saw something in the cinema the weekend.
You went to see Civil War?
Civil War. Oh, the worst adaptation I've ever seen. Mary Jane as a thing going across the country. No, Captain America and Iron Man not even in it. Disappointing.
Oh, really?
Disappointing.
I'm not going
worse than the Eternals, I would say.
That Mary Jane went through the wrong Doctor Strange portal, it seems. She came out in some different post-apocalyptic American. I assume it's modern-day American Civil War, right?
I'm going to be honest with you, Dan. The trailer makes it seem much more exciting than it actually is.
It's one of them, is it?
It's very. It's not what you think it's going to be. There's bits of it that are, but the bits of it are in the trailer. That's just to say that.
I hate films like that where the best bits are in the trailer. Terrible. Well, anyway, I hope everybody is well. Again, if you are new here, we do this every single week, and you know how we start this off. We start off with the housekeeping, because it could be your very first show. So of course, let me break it down for the people. So go and check out all the other long form content on the channel. These are all as podcasts. If you go to my YouTube channel, go to the podcast tab, you will find all 4 of these, plus now the Dan Who Extra show as well, where you can listen to audio only if you have the YouTube app, if you wish. But of course, there are full-length videos as well. Shout out to anybody out there who actually watched the 6+ hour episode of Legends and Liquor. We broke the record. It was never the plan, but we did officially break the record for the longest stream on the channel, celebrating 3 years of Legends and Liquor, one of the best community-driven toy shows on YouTube, if I don't say so myself. So there you go. Go and check that out if you have a spare 6 hours, right? Because everyone's got a spare 6 hours, surely. But no, I do appreciate everyone who's getting involved. Friday is back at the $4 mark. I think so anyway. Someone test that out for me. Anything over £4 or $4. Friday, our Talking Robot Assistant will read out your comment. Not only are you contributing to the channel, you're contributing to the show, and your thoughts and opinions will be read out loud, interrupting the show and be heard forever in YouTube history, all right? So I appreciate that. If you want to take it one step further, hit that join button. Again, it's a channel membership where if you become part of the channel, you get to be on the channel. And if you're doing exactly that, hit the Dan Who Deluxe tier and you can be on the show right tonight. Like last week, I let everybody see what it was all about. I left the bonus show live. I left it public and it got way over 1,000 views on the on the replay. So people wanted to watch it. But if you want to watch it again every single week and be a part of it, then become part of the Who Crew Deluxe tier, all right? People, support the channel, be on the channel. Such a simple concept, but I'm a man of my word, all right? Get involved, up that channel membership tier. I appreciate you. Keep me on YouTube talking toys, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here talking to Rich right now, breaking down the golden age of comics. But before we break down the golden age, Rich, let's just keep it modern day for a second and recap the week that was in Marvel Legends news, all right? Just a few little pre-orders, okay? A few little pre-orders. So, first up, we have the pre-order for the Luke Cage and Iron Fist 2-pack. This is how 2-pack should be, by the way. 2 characters that make a perfect pairing. Perfect for the comics as well. We needed a new Iron Fist. It is a brand new sculpted, molded version of Iron Fist as well. We got a new Luke Cage with the butterfly joints and ab crunch now as well. New jeans as well, apparently, or pants as they are called in America. Interchangeable heads and hands. Honestly, they're moving in the right direction with the Hank Pym and Wasp 2-pack, and now with the Iron Fist and Luke Cage. These 2-packs are the type of 2-packs that make sense. You don't want to skip either character because they make sense. You need the pair. I'm definitely in on this. You're in on this one, Rich? Stop smacking her up.
It's not funny. It's not funny, guys.
Funny. It's not.
Yeah. So Iron Fist, Power Man. Yeah, this is a good set. I like this a lot. I'm in on this one. I think it looks brilliant, and I like that he comes with all the hands as well. It's like they're not skimping. Both got alternate heads as well. So yeah, very happy with this.
Yeah. Also, as well, this went up for pre-order. Now, this was never announced, but they have been doing this year, as they have already done some of the Deadpool stuff. Now they are re-releasing what was once a Walgreens exclusive back in the day, and to be fair, it was very elusive. But of course, we did get a version of Silver Surfer with the Galactus HasLab as well. But this...
I'm sorry, Dan. Sorry to stop you there, but I live in the UK and we run by Hasbro UK. We're pretty shit this year. Yeah. Sorry, Dan. I can't get this. I can't get it. I can't get it anywhere. Well, why, Dan?
That's what I was leading to. Unfortunately, yet again, Hasbro UK have chose not to bring this one or bring this re-release into the UK market via official channels. So when I say official channels, I mean Hasbro distribution. They ship it to all the independents, etc., etc. It's how we currently get our Legends. If me and Rich have been trying to figure this out. We don't know. Nobody would tell us. But is it because the UK is too small and we can't order enough quantity? Like, we don't really know why. But for whatever reason, the UK do not seem to be getting these re-releases. The Kingpin Deluxe Retro card was another recent one. The Deadpool X-Force card and the Deadpool on the scooter Vespa was another one. So these are, like, I understand the re-releases. I'm not moaning at that at all. Like, I think it's a great opportunity for new collectors to get things they missed out on without going to eBay and getting off the scalpers. So it's just a shame that it seems to be only a US thing right now. Again, I can't speak for the rest of Europe or anywhere else in the world, but in the UK... they're not available.
I'm guessing. I'm blaming Canada. I reckon they're all in Canada. I reckon Arvin has already got 50 of these and he's selling them right now on eBay. That's how he's funding his lifestyle, jetting out to all these premieres because he's selling these on eBay. All these exclusives, he's selling them.
Yeah, Arvin's in some sort of actor's trailer right now, just sat on a pile of these Silver Surfers. So shout out Arvin if you're watching on the replay. He knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, the Silver Surfer is not available in the UK. However, there is a little bit of silver lining, as our good friend here on the Dan Who Network, Scotty C, has his website. Blue Cloud. That's the combination of some of the Who crew there. Blue Owl Collectibles. He is importing some of these figures in. All right. So Blue Owl Collectibles. I'll put the link into the chat right now. It's our friend of the channel, Scotty C. So he gets the Dan Who seal of approval. He is importing them in. All right. So unfortunately, though, they are sold out. So you're a little bit too slow. But at least I've told you now, so you know for next time. All right. I'm just letting you know now, so you can save it to your friends. favourites. And next time these re-releases happen in the UK, you can get yourself over to Blue Owl Collectibles, all right? So Blue Owl Collectibles, they did have them up. And again, talking about those re-releases, they've got the Kingpin that I just mentioned as well. Plus, again, there's another one that got re-released that we never got, and that's the Juggernaut and Colossus 2-pack. So there has been a few times this year where these re-releases are happening and not coming to the UK. Again, I'm sure it's logistical. It's about distribution. The UK is tiny in comparison.
They just hate us, Dan. They hate us. They hate us, Dan.
It's what it is. Arvin is in the chat, by the way, and says, I wished I had I wished I had the work ethic of a scalper, Limo. No, it's all love. We know you're not really. Arvin's one of the good guys. And while we're talking about the good guys, let's just jump to the chat real quick. But I will first just say we had another pre-order. I should mention that actually. And it's this guy. So this in the US is a Target exclusive. It went up for pre-order this morning on Target.com. But again, we're in the UK. We do not have Targets. So it is now available in all the places you buy your Marvel Legends. So all the regular spots, In Demand, Star Action, Comic and Cocktails, and even Hasbro Pulse. So you can go and get it now, get your pre-order in. Of course, it is a re-release of a figure we've already had, but with some additional weapons. It's a great Carnage, though, don't get me wrong. I will, of course, be buying one to add to the wall, even though my wall is pretty full now, so I've had to start adding them to this wall over here. I just need to knock down walls. I still need this hexagon house. Amanda is not on board. One day I'll make it happen, Rich. One day. But Carnage is now up for pre-order.
You're single-fundedly, like, funding Harry Moore. It would be easier just to get a commission at this point, probably. Wouldn't it?
Harry Moore, come and just fill up the rest of the wall for me, please.
Draw the walls for him. Just do it.
This is due in the UK on the 19th of June, so it's still over a month away. So the US have started to get Prowler right now, which is a Walmart exclusive. And considering we already got the Captain America Secret Empire, I'm a little bit annoyed we haven't got Prowler yet. So Prowler is out there in the US. But
we did get the Captain America much before them, though, didn't we? So all's fair in love and war, isn't it?
I'm a sucker for a retro card. That's all it is. It's my own personal bias.
Do you want that retro card first, Dan? I can make it happen.
Do it. Make it happen, Rich. Make it happen. You're
Superior Iron Man. Come on.
He's on his way back to you, by the way. I do appreciate the lend there. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right.
It's
very nice to get it back.
I told you this channel should really be called Rich Who Reviews, because I'm just reviewing his toys at this point. All right, let's go to the chat then and say hello to the people that are in here. Let me scroll up a little bit. So we got Mike Hex in nice and early, so was Tac Tac. Damien, afternoon, evening and evening all to Damien too. Ashaholic, Little Leaf Creation says, let's get ready to rumble. I hear that in my head as the guy from all the boxing. That's what I hear in my head. I hope that's what he meant.
I hear PJ and Duncan. That's what I hear.
I try and...
What just wrecked the mic, psych?
Don't. Ant and Deck. Oh my god. That's, again, if you're not from the UK, you don't know what we're talking about. Home Dude says, what's up, everybody? Your boy's got toys. Says, what's up? I'm working and lurking today. I like that. Working and lurking. Let me know if you've got ideas on tooth wear analysis in prehistoric animals. Any ideas there for your boys got toys? Why does it work? The Indiana Jones of the Who crew, of course.
Tooth wear analysis in prehistoric animals. Reptile of the superhero squad is a Marvel character who can turn into dinosaurs, so you can look at his teeth. There we go.
See, we brought it back to Marvel. See, we love it. Pixels and Plastics.
Devil Dinosaur as well. Another one.
Pixels and Plastics says, it's Thursday, peeps. You know what that means. Toy talk with the lads. Paul McCarthy says, hello, you lovely lot. Happy Who Crew Thursday to you all. Hello to Paul and Lady Mac, I assume, is lurking if he's got it on the big screen. We've got Mikey Moonboots, Cloud as well. Jay's Toy Collection UK has just finished building wrestling rings. God knows how he has enough room for wrestling. I think I'm going to visit Jay again this week, just to see how if he got any more room in that collection. We're about to find out. Jamie Gitchard's around as well. Michael Davis, Figure Cave Collectibles says evening all, which is our friend Adam Batman Moran. George is also there, says Pow Cute Cool says, I learned everything I know about comics from Wizard magazine and the official Marvel handbook of the Marvel Universe. I learned everything I know about the comics from Rich M. That's why he's the co-host of the show. Never actually read a comic. All my knowledge is through Rich. California Red Devil, he's back in the building with the blue emojis. I assume that's because Cov City nearly beat Man United at the weekend. What a game that was. Stressed me out, but I think he'd give Cov some respect, to be fair, to California Red Devil. So fair play. Robert Thompson says, hello everybody, my Ant-Man and Wasp has not arrived despite being dispatched last week. Getting a bit worried. Are you in the UK, Robert? because it's a Pulse exclusive in the UK. You should have had it by now if it is shipped. But if you're in the US, I know that Pulse distributes from all over the country. So sometimes slow, sometimes fast, depending on where you are. Fortress Maximus says, howdy all. Craig's Dots, Nostalgic Dot Collection. Rich, what did we say about Craig?
Remember the dots.
Don't forget the dots, all right? We'll get there. We'll try again next week. It's fine. It's a new thing. We're learning. Gary's there as well. Right, Jelly Figs, Jason Lopez, the retweeting king. Jim, John, Arvin's there. Justin Collect. Shelley's in the building. Lady Mac is there lurking. I knew she was. Classic Spidey 97. Marvel fan Omar V. Derek. Hugo, Z-Man, Literal Action Figs. I see yous. I appreciate yous all. Thank you so much. Let's get into this then, shall we? Let's get into Marvel Legends celebrating the anniversary, which is 85 years. Now, again, you heard it here on this channel. Rich plucked it out of nowhere and called it first. He was the first one in the toy community to call it. I don't care how anyone says. The facts are here on this YouTube channel.
We did make 97 guesses, so one of them was right. Hooray!
It's still cool. We're not wrong, though. We're not wrong. We did mention
We knew, really,
yes.
Oh.
So they did a live stream the other week and they announced what 6 of them are. But since then, there have been a few sneaky little reveals, but not officially, all right? So this is what we've got so far. Superior Iron Man and Astonishing Wolverine, they are up for pre-order right now. Iron Fist and Luke Cage also has just went up for pre-order. Due soon as well. Due the beginning of June, which is quicker than I expected. The other releases that have officially been talked about are Warbird, Captain Marvel, of course. She is a Target exclusive. We've got Scar, the Son of Hulk, which will be a deluxe. We have got Ghost Rider, the much desired Danny Ketch with a brand new bike. That's where that fire effect accessory was all along. It helps him do a little wheelie. And then after the stream, the three Hasbro lads did tease intentionally a Hulkbuster box. So we've not seen Hulkbuster, but it's pretty clear he is coming on the way. And then via the pre-orders on Amazon, I think intentionally, or maybe intentionally, I don't know who writ that and approved it, but someone approved it and sent it to Amazon. But the Amazon listings said that Odin would also be a part of the Marvel celebrating 85 years. So we are going to be getting an Odin. If you're savvy on the internet as well, you've probably seen a few little leaked pictures of what could be Odin's boot. Very exciting stuff out there on Reddit. Very exciting stuff.
I was on pins seeing that in my timeline. I was like,
I know. Odin's boot. Very, very exciting there. Calm down, everyone. Calm down. Sit back down. Just imagine everyone gasping and standing up as I said that. I had to take a breather when I saw that. I had to take a breather. So Hulkbuster and Odin, we have yet to see them, but they are very likely happening. We shall see them soon. But there are two more question marks on the board. Now, we know for the last 5 years, we have got 10 items on the summer program. So we know what 8 of the items are. There are still 2 remaining.
But Dan, do we know what 8 are? Could Hulkbuster and Odin be in a 2-pack or a 3-pack or a 4-pack?
Oh, I remember that comic issue where Hulkbuster fought Odin. It made a lot of sense. Probably not. But I genuinely do think one of these question marks is another multi-pack. Ryan Ting did say during the live stream, while he was talking about Luke Cage and Iron Fist, there would be another multi-pack in this summer program. So I do think 9 and 10, whatever they be, one of them may be a multi-pack. So what me and Rich are doing for the next couple of weeks, because we know how this works, while these are going up for pre-order, there won't be a lot of Marvel Legend news until all of these have went up for pre-order. That's usually what the pattern they have been following this year. They announce a load of figures. The following weeks, they all go up for pre-order. Once the pre-orders are all up, they announce some more figures, all right? It's a pattern that works. So I'm assuming these will go up for pre-order and then we will get some more reveals. So while that is happening, for the following weeks, Rich is going to be breaking down Marvel's 85 years into different categories and diving into some characters from the different eras and different decades that have some Marvel Legend potential. Now, like always, we're not saying that we want these characters or we think these are
hang on. I am saying that every single character on this list, I want more than fucking Odin. Okay, that's what I want.
That's fair.
Odin of all the Asgardians of the 85 years. They haven't done a proper Heimdall. They haven't done the Warriors 3. Another shitting Odin. Like, it didn't sell in the blooming MCU one. Anthony bloody Hopkins is on the shelf of games across the country still.
Yeah, for sale and people bloody still don't want him.
Odin. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it
Okay,
there.
okay. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. My point, all I was saying is that sometimes we like to talk about characters for the sake of a conversation. That's all I'm saying. So we may have went down a few rabbit holes. We may have picked a few obvious choices, but we are going way back to the 30s today. So we're going to like 1939 to the 40s. So I wanted to talk like an old prospector and like I was going to put this in black and white, but the last time I did that on the live stream, we were stuck in black and white for the whole stream because I couldn't reverse it. So I didn't want to risk it. But it would have been funny to go in black and white and go all prospector style. But yes, we are going back to the late 30s, obviously 39 to what is it? 40? What was the categories did I put?
69?
60. Oh, 69, yeah. So how have you done this? You broke this down into 4 decades, right?
So yeah, so basically the 30s is 1939 and that's it. Because
okay. It's the debut of Marvel.
Everything debuted in 1939.
Yeah, okay.
Then you've got 40 to 49, 50 to 59, and 60 to 69 this week. But next week, we'll be going into the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And then the week after, the noughties, the 10s, and the 20s.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so today, what we're going to do this how we usually do it on the stream. We're going to do some fan audience participation, all right? So as we announce and talk about these figures, once we have talked about the decade, we will put them to the poll, all right? The live poll. This is where we want you guys to get involved and pick your favorite character you would like to see in Marvel Legends form for that particular decade. And then at the end of the stream, we will take those 4 winners from each of those decades and they will battle it out for the most wanted Marvel Legend character of this particular era, okay? So that's what we're going to do. You know how to play this game. We'll go along. So we'll start off straight away going back to the debut of Marvel Comics in 1939.
Someone's making fun of how I said Heimdall. So Heimdall is Welsh for fuck you.
Who's saying that? Who's saying that?
I don't even know. I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm like, two drinks in, Dad. Who cares?
I've left my drink at the top of the stairs, annoyingly. I need to run and get it. Rectangular says bingo. Yes, Rectangular did probably announce all of this. Rectangular, what is 9 and 10? We can just save me and Rich like in the next 4 weeks worth of streams if you want. Just tell us what the 10th and 9th ones are. That would be great. And we can just wrap up the stream now, Rectangular, all right? Just wrap it up. We'll wrap it up nice and quick. There you go. Right, where's my poll thing? Right, there it is. Right, let's go.
Go and check out Rectangle's video, though, because there's loads more leaks to come. And maybe, because I mean, some of these were in there and have turned up in this list. So it could be some of them are going to be in this. Maybe it's Venom and Carnage. Maybe it's Destiny and Mystique. Who knows?
Yeah, Venom's highly likely. We shall see. But yeah, Todd's got leaks all over the place. He's got plumbers on speed dial, that man, because he's got leaks everywhere, all right? So let's get into what we're talking about. So let's go to 1939. Let's start off nice and simple with a character everyone should recognise. It is, of course, Namor, the Submariner. So this is debut looking Namor with the trunks. Now we have had a few different versions of Namor, but was he called Namor the Submariner even back then, or was he just the Submariner for his initial appearance?
He was the Submariner, but Namor was still his name, and he was like, of all the characters, so all of the characters from 1939 debuted in Timely Comics, Marvel Comics issue 1 from Timely, which was technically the first Marvel superhero comic book. So Namor was part of that. Like, he is front and center throughout the Marvel Comics run. Like, he had his own series created by Bill Everett, and just a great character because unlike a lot of the other ones who were like Americans fighting like Hitler and Nazis, like Namor was a bit of a bastard. He lived under the sea and he was a bit of an anti-hero. He fought New York a lot. He was fighting people under the sea. And this look is more of like a slimmed down Namor before he found the steroids. This is. He's kind of like Leith. He's got the black trunks. He's got the more like he's kind of like as if he looks like Mr. Spock from Star Trek, his face type of thing.
Yeah,
more angular.
The ears as well, of course.
Yeah, so I mean, and obviously being the first Marvel superhero, like Marvel Comics issue 1 debuted like 5 characters altogether, but we got 4 characters in this. We didn't include Kazar before someone shouted to me because Kazar is just a man in a loincloth from the Savage Land, and we are getting him in the Zabu Build-A-Figure wave.
Yes, very soon. All right, so there's Namor. Everyone knows Namor. Classic character from the Golden Age. Next up, the Angel. Now, again, when I think of Marvel and I think of Angel, my brain goes to the same place you guys do, probably. It goes to the X-Men's version of Angel. But this isn't him. It's someone else, Rich. Explain it to the people. Who is this original, the Angel?
So this is Thomas Holloway. So it's not Warren Worthington the third. This is Thomas Holloway, who is the first The Angel. So he's just a regular guy. He's like a detective. He hasn't got like any special powers, although his cape does allow him to fly. He's got like a special cape, but he's more of like a detective story kind of thing.
Hmm.
He's just like a rich guy who solved crime. So kind of like before Batman type of thing.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay.
he was also in this first issue, like not as successful as Submariner. He did come around in the Marvels project by Ed Brubaker like about 10 years ago. They like brought all back the Golden Age heroes. But still, he's in that first issue. And I just think if there was a four pack, these four characters would all be great to put in there. So yeah.
Okay, well, let's keep going then out of these four characters because the next one we have, well, I'm sure more people are familiar with this one. It's the Human Torch, but again, it's the original Human Torch. So again, this isn't Johnny Storm Human Torch, correct?
No, this is the Jim Hammond version of Human Torch. But don't let it looks fool you. He's not a real man. He is an android. So this is the android version of the Human Torch. So he was a guy like he was basically a synthetically created thing. He went out into the sun and then he set on fire through his like synthetic skin. So that's how he became the Human Torch. He eventually like teamed up with Captain America and Submariner in the Invaders, part like the first like superhero team, really. But he's just a great character. He's come back in like recent years. He was part of the Avengers West Coast. Like Vision used his body for a bit. Then he was in, I think, the Future Foundation most recently when Sue and Reed Richards were like, you can't look after the kids anymore because you're naughty people. Like he took over looking after the kids for the Fantastic Four, and he's been around a lot. He's been through a lot of different arcs, and he's like a great character. Essentially, he's the same character as Johnny Storm. So if you've got like a flame on version of Johnny Storm, like looks wise, the same as Johnny Storm. If you've got a flame on version of Johnny Storm, you can use that. But that's why I've put his like more classic, like humanoid looking. He's
Yeah.
still a robot. Don't be fooled, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be fooled. But just like he's just a cool character. And again, he's on the original cover of Marvel Comics issue 1. And again, like I'd say like Namor, the Samarina, he's probably the top two. There's a third, I would say, that one who was introduced in the next decade, but he's definitely one of the top two characters. And obviously, the Human Torch moniker carried on then into the Fantastic Four with Johnny Storm.
Yeah, if they wanted to play tribute to like the original characters, headliners, then I think Human Torch, the original, is one of them. And yeah, Daniel in the chat says, "Yay, the original Human Torch. The Human Torch was also a member of the All Winners squad."
Yep.
So there we go. Right, and then the fourth one out of this 1939 category is the Mask Raider. The Mask Raider.
He's probably the most obscure of them all. So he's kind of like the cowboy character. So he's Jim Gardley. He was just like a rancher, falsely accused of like getting cattle, and then he like took on the mask and then became the Mask Rider. I think last year or the year before they retconned this. So the mask that he's got is the Eternity mask, so it links to the wider Marvel universe.
Okay.
And now like his ancestor has took that mask on in the Marvel universe. There's a new Mask Rider in the Marvel universe with this Eternity mask that you can like search for things. And there's like a big mystery going on through Marvel titles. Well, I think it's ended now, and the new one was announced. But yeah, I mean, he's probably the least known. But I just think like the Marvel Comics issue 1 is essentially where everything began, where all of Marvel began, everything. So a 4-pack of these, if you're going to celebrate 85 years, year 0 is where it all started, and this is the year 0 selection.
Yeah, there you go. So there's our 4 character choices for the 1939 category. Now, again, these could be great potential characters to add into the Marvels celebrating 85 years. Do we think it will happen? Unlikely. Z-Man with the super chat. Let's see if Friday is working. She is working. Thank you.
Donated £5. He was in the MCU, but I think they forgot about him. Film: Captain America: First Avenger.
Thank you very much, Z-Man. He is correct. He says he was in the he was in the MCU, but I think they forgot about him. Captain America: The First Avenger, says Z-Man. And yeah, I think when they were at the Stark Expo, the Steve Rogers and Bucky were at the Stark Expo. He was in like a pod or a capsule or something there. So he has been Yeah.
the Jim Hammond version, yeah.
Yeah, so he has been referenced within the MCU, that is for sure, during that earlier era that Captain America is a part of. So, yeah, there you go. So there is a poll live right now in the chat, all right? Play along with us at home. Again, just let us know if one of these characters was to be made in Marvel Legends form, which one would you like to add to your collection, all right? So which of these 1939 characters would you like to see the most in Marvel Legends line? Now, again, we're just having a fun conversation about a line of toys that we love and collect, all right? Do we think these will happen? As I said, very unlikely, but it's always fun to have these conversations, as I'm sure there's people out there are learning things today. I said to Rich before the show, I'm not going to lie to you, Rich, I don't know who the Masked Raider is, but thankfully Rich is here to educate me and hopefully you as well. So far, we're going to try and let the votes get to about 50. I think I'll try and go for half the viewership, because I understand half of the people watching are probably just got us on in the background or listening in their ear. So if we can get to 50 votes, I'll be happy with that, and then we will move on to the 40s. So far, the Submariner, Namor, is winning with 40%, which is an odd choice, because I think people are picking their favourite character, but not really thinking about the wider lens of Marvel Legends. Like, we've got a couple of versions of Namor, which for me are a decent representation of in my mind's eye. I think if we're going to get a character to represent that golden era, I'd go for someone that isn't sort of intertwined in with the modern age as well. Do you know, like the Angel, for example? He's like very unique to his time, and that character design isn't something you see throughout the years. So for me, I'd probably pick something like the Angel or the Masked Rider, just because they are obscure and we don't have them in our collection so far, where we can fudge a Human Torch in and we can fudge a Submariner in. Does that make sense? Would you agree, Richard? Who would you go for out of these four?
I mean, like, I would go for the human version of Human Torch. I would like that a lot. But if not, probably the Angel, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm with you.
There's not enough cowboys. There's not enough cowboys as well. So Masked Raider would be a good figure as well.
So far, only 6% for the Angel. So people are not on the same wavelength of us. I'm always trying to second guess the audience here. But again, just for the sake of your own collections, what would you like to see? For the sake of the Marvel Legends line, I think a new characters we don't already have within the 20+ year history of Marvel Legends is always fun. So that would be my personal preference. But with over 67 votes, I'm going to end it. And it's close, so, do you know what? I might let it go to 70 votes, because a few votes could swing this. I'm going to let it go to 70 votes. So that's 3 more votes out there. I'll read some comments real quick while you guys are voting, because Submariner is 37% and the Human Torch is 36%. So it's a couple of votes will swing the tide. Okay, the votes are in. I'm going to end it right now. Ending the poll. Queen Comics says, greetings, Dan and Rich. How are you all doing, my friends? Hope you are having a quintastic day. Always enjoy the live stream here at the comic shop. Excelsior. Hello, the shoppers of Queen Comics. Make sure you buy that comic, all right? He'll give you a good discount. Just mention Dan Who reviews at the counter, all right? He'll sort you out. Hope you're having a good day. Right, let me go back to the chat then real quick. So the Submariner took that one, people, with 38% of the vote. I should have probably showed the poll on screen for the replay crew, but you'll just have to believe me, replay crew. The Submariner had 38%, the Human Torch with 35%, Black Raider with 19%, and then the Angel.
Masked Raider. You're confusing him with the Black Rider, who he died in front of. He died in front of the Black Raider.
Oh, okay, my bad. I've copied and pasted that. So you might have changed that last minute. I blame Rich. Because I've just copied and pasted that, so that's my bad for not reading. And also the Angel was 7%, which is a shame. All right, so we have a winner from that particular category, and it is the Human Torch. Human Torch takes it. He is our first winner from our 1939 category. Let me just make a note of that. There we go. Winner. All right, next up. Now we're moving into the 1940s. So the character selection gets a little bit more vast, as we have a whole decade now to explore rather than just the debut year of Marvel. So let's start off nice and simple and start off with a classic 1940s skinny version of Captain America. Clearly, the Super Serum didn't work that well back then, but this is how he was originally drawn, right? This is original Cap fighting the Nazis, right?
Yeah, Joe Simon and Jack Kirby from Captain America comics in 1940, so just after Marvel Comics issue 1 debut. They brought about Captain America in his own comic book. And then Captain America would probably be the third of like the trio of like big Marvel characters through the like 40s. Captain America is definitely up there. Like he's this patriotic thing, and like he's not fighting like made up superheroes like the Joker. He's literally fighting Hitler.
Yeah.
So that is obviously like you put him right into the like forefront of comic books, like but and is the beginning of the Marvel universe as we know it. Really, probably it's a war comic, but it's probably the most superhero of all the comic books that they were putting out at the time. And yeah, it's Captain America in his like you can fudge it into like a modern look, but he's got his classic shield. He hasn't got like his helmet's not joined up. It's like separate pieces. And like Dan says, he's a little bit skinnier. He's not as like buffed up on super serum as he is.
Yeah, not as broad. He's definitely beefed out as the years have went on for sure. Like I could dress as Captain America at this point. But there you go. So it's a classic Cap, a tribute to how he originally appeared during the comics. All right, so that's what we're going for there with our first pick from the 40s. This next pick I think will be a popular one because it's Bucky Barnes. This is Cap's sidekick from way back when, and I do think a character design that people would like to add to their modern Marvel Legend collection. We've got plenty of Caps, we've got a couple of Winter Soldiers. What about good old Bucky in his classic look from his the 40s? So, Rich, this is one that you'd want on the shelf for sure, right?
It's Bucky. Let's croak some Nazis, Dan, innit? Come on.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah, this is Bucky Barnes, who in Marvel Legends form we haven't had since way, way back in the Brood Queen wave. Yeah. It's been a long time overdue. And again, that was like a normal size figure. This needs to be more like a kid-size figure, smaller. And it's just one that's crying out to be done. Like Bucky Barnes is big in Marvel Studios in the MCU. He's back in the comics as the Winter Soldier. But classic Bucky to go with your Captain America is long overdue. If there was a 2-pack, if we're waiting for 2-packs, if there was a 2-pack that we'd need, these two would be prime candidates, I think, for a 2-pack. And like people have said before, he eventually joins like the New Invaders, the young the All-Star Squadron, Young Allies. Like he's part of them all. And then eventually there's a second Bucky and a third Bucky. But Bucky Barnes is obviously the best Bucky of all.
Let me just throw on.
Apart from Bucky O'Hare.
Bucky O'Hare is also one of my favourite Buckies. If we're ranking Buckies, Bucky O'Hare is up there. So yeah, this is the previous Marvel Legends. So this is the last time we got Bucky. It wasn't the Brood Queen Build-A-Figure wave. I think these waves were Target exclusives in America. Dark Days of Hasbro. We never seen these here in the UK. At least I never seen these particular packaging here in the UK. We didn't get Legends again until like the Epic Hero days, I don't think. But I don't have this Bucky, but it is in the same costume design that I would like a classic Bucky. And like Rich said, it'd have to be a little bit skinny. He's the Robin to. He's like Batman and Robin. You got Captain America and Bucky. You need that height difference to have the pair on the shelf. So I do think a classic Bucky would be a great addition to a Marvel Legends collection, and it would make sense celebrating the 85 years of Marvel as well. So yeah, first two picks for our 40s category is Classic Cap and Bucky Barnes. Our next pick is the Destroyer. Now, when Rich first sent me this list, I said to Rich, I don't think I know this one. And then Rich reminded me, I actually do. And probably you do as well without remembering it. So again, you know me, I wasn't reading comics during the 40s because I wasn't born for 40 years after that. Do you know, like, so forgive me. But I was born in the 80s, which meant I was prime to digest the source material of the cartoons. That was my form of media. That was my introduction to so many of these characters. And you'll remember there was an arc during the Spider-Man animated series in the 90s about the Forgotten Warriors. So Captain America was part of that, and he had these Forgotten Warriors that all had these rings that would give them these powers. The Destroyer was part of that. So that is how I have seen the Destroyer via the medium of the Spider-Man cartoon. And I've said before on this stream that I would love to get all of the Forgotten Warriors in Marvel Legend form, but I do think...
Put them on a Spider-Man retro card and I'll buy them all!
See, this man knows me. Wow, that's exactly... I was literally about to say that, but Rich telepathically read that from my brain. So yes, put them on a retro card, I will buy them, because it would make sense. They were in the Spider-Man animated show. So yeah, I take the Destroyer. The rectangular says Skinny Drax. Not quite, but I guess so. Cap Liv says the six Forgotten Warriors. Yes, absolutely. That's what I want. So that's how I remember it. But Rich, you got any more knowledge to drop on the people regarding the Destroyer from the 40s?
Yeah, so this is Keen Marlowe, who was like Captain America. He was given super serum, but unlike Captain America, he wasn't in America. He was like in Germany at the time and was given these like the serum, but it didn't stabilize properly. And then he got the powers of Captain America, but not the control. And then he donned on this disguise and was like fighting Nazis on in Europe. He was all over Europe fighting Nazis on like the home shows, and like Captain America, who was in America at the beginning of it. And he was one of the first as well Marvel superheroes as such, created by Stan Lee in Mystic Comics issue 6 in 1941. And like Dan said, he came about in the Spider-Man animated TV show in the Six Forgotten Warriors arc as well. He's there.
There he is.
Again, there's been other Destroyers since. I think at the minute Sharon Carter is calling herself the Destroyer, but there's been different versions. But obviously celebrating the 85 years of Marvel comic books from the 50s, the Destroyer would be a great figure to get. And it'd be quite simple for them to do. Like a rectangular head is like Skinny Drax, really. It's not too much of a stretch for him to pull this one off, I don't think.
Yeah, there you go. So there's an image from the Spider-Man animated cartoon. That's how I would recognise his character. That was how I sort of was introduced to so many Marvel characters throughout the years. There he is on the far right. So you can see the outfit, the stripes on the trousers. There he is. It is the Destroyer. So you have seen him. So you, like me, probably was like, who's that guy? But then you're like, oh yeah, I have seen him. So yeah, put them all on a retro card and I am in. Next up, we have another big fan favourite. Rich is going to have to sell this one. Millie the model, Rich. Break this one down for the people. Was she ever in a Spider-Man show?
I don't think she's been in an episode of Spider-Man. She's shown up in the Marvel Universe proper, though.
Oh, okay.
But Millie the model was obviously part of Marvel comic books. It wasn't just superheroes and war comics and cowboys. They also did girl comic books as well. And Millie the model, apart from probably Patsy Walker, was like at the forefront of that romance and female and comedic comic book, kind of like in the Archie mold. So Millie debuted in Millie the Model Comics issue 1 by Ruth Atkinson. And to date, she's still, of all the Marvel female characters, she's got the longest running solo title of all the Marvel female characters.
Oh, wow.
It went on for like hundreds and hundreds of issues. I think the only superhero even comes close is Spider-Girl, who had 100 issues, but Millie went way past that. Again, lots of looks for Millie. You could do millions of different ones. She showed up in the Marvel Universe proper at the wedding of Sue and Reed Richards in Fantastic Four Annual 3, where she was like introduced into the Marvel Universe. She showed up bits and pieces over the years. They tried to like relaunch her in a series called Models Inc. in 2009 with these like CGI covers where she was like, there was murder going on in model world and she tried to solve it. Not that great, if I'm going to be honest. And then in 2011, her niece became a tennis champion in 15 Love, and she became a mentor to her. Kind of like this entire movie with like love and tennis.
The challenges.
Yeah, they should sue. Marvel should sue. They had it before. And most recently, she showed up in 2019 in Fearless, a mini series in a little segment in issue 1 celebrating the females of the Marvel Universe. But yeah, she's just a different character to have. Yeah, and like I think that's what this is, going for the 85 years. I don't think they're going to do Millie the Model, but in celebrating 85 years of Marvel Universe, why not Millie the Model?
Rectangular Todd, are you watching this, right? I dare you on your next like leak video, just drop in Millie the Model. Do you know, let's just spread that rumor, just like, even though we know it'll be our own little secret that we know it's not actually happening, but watch Reddit take that and run with it. All right, so Millie the Model, just flash a picture up on a screen on your next video. But yeah, obscure, again, not one I was familiar with, but again, I wasn't a girl in the 40s reading comics, but bravo, she definitely sounds worthy of her place within the sort of comic lore. If she genuinely is the longest running female, like, that has to be celebrated. And again, it could be a great civilian female to add to a Marvel Legends collection. It would be very interesting for sure. So there you go, there's our 4 characters from the 90s. Shout out Ashaholic for channel membership token. Says, when you get to the 60s and 70s, why not a younger Stan Lee? Nuff said. Interesting, yeah, that could be a great shout. Stan Lee has cameoed all over the place, live action comics and animated, so I'll take a Stan Lee in all forms. We've already got live action Stan Lee on the shelf, that's for sure. But yes, back to these 4. So 40 40s characters, we've got Captain America as he originally appeared, Bucky, the Destroyer, or Millie the Model. You guys can vote right now in the chat. And again, for the replay crew, I'll show you the poll because I'm not sure if it comes up in the replay. But there you go. There's the poll right now. We'll wait for it to get past 50 votes. So far, Bucky is a strong leader with 50.
Oh, Millie the Model coming second. Oh, come on, Millie. Come on, Millie.
We sold it. We sold it to the people. And again, like, think of your Marvel Legends collection. You've got plenty of caps, all right? Do you need a skinny cap? Would your skinny cap be a front row? Of course he wouldn't. It'd be the back of the shelf. You'd hardly know if he was there. Millie the Model,
she could be like the Marvel Lisa Lionheart. She's got a new hat next week. Like, she's got a new shawl. She's got a new dog. Like, millions of things you could do with Millie the Model.
Millie the Model. See, I want retro cards. Give a 4-pack of Millie the Model in all different outfits, and Rich will be in on that for sure. The Destroyer with 18%, and poor Captain America only 8%. Again, probably not everyone's favourite interpretation of Cap. Now we've got this rich history of the character. Probably don't want to remember the skinnier version beating up Hitler. We've moved on. But yes, okay, 56 votes. I'm going to end that right there because I don't think anyone is unfortunately beating up with Bucky. If we left it long enough, maybe Millie would catch up. But with 48% of the vote, that's nearly half of the vote there. Bucky takes it, okay? So we've got Human Torch from the first round and now Bucky from the second round taking it for the Marvel characters. So again, if you're late in this evening, we are ranking, or we are going through the different decades of Marvel Comics as a celebration of their 85 years, of course, as that's what this year's summer program is all about. We have also already talked about the 1939, which is the debut of a lot of these characters, and now we've moved on from the 40s. Now we're going to go into the 50s, okay? The 50s. First up, Black Knight. Let me just check my list. Yes, Black Knight. So, Black Knight. We have had a couple of different versions of Black Knight in Marvel Legends form. One most recently was the sort of Avengers era, 90s Avengers of Black Knight with the Cersei 2-pack in last year's 60th celebration of Beyond Earth's Mightiest Avengers. But before that, I forget the Build-A-Figure wave, someone in the chat can tell me, but we had Black Knight in a Build-A-Figure wave that came with 3 heads. So we actually got this accurate head in that 3-pack. So you could already have a pretty solid representation of this version of Black Knight in your collection already, with the chainmail and whatnot. If mine wasn't on the back row, I'd take him off the shelf, but mine's like back row. But yeah, Rich, break it down for the people. So this is how he originally appeared in Marvel lore, with the big covering face helmet.
Yeah, so technically the versions we've had in Marvel Legends have been the Dane Whitman, the modern day Black Knight. But this is like the classic fantasy version, Sir Percy version of Black Knight. So like you said, we had that helmet back in the I think what was one of the Affinity Wave figures, one of the Affinity Gauntlet figures. I think.
No, it was in a Build-A-Figure. I'm gonna look now. It could have been Thanos. Let me look now. Black Knight Build-A-Figure. Yeah.
Infinity War, sorry, not Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, but we had the head, but obviously the body is slightly different. This one's got like a red cape and the skirt piece goes out, and it's just a bit of a different thing. But like last year was the dark days of Marvel Legends with plastic-free packaging. The 50s are the dark days of Marvel superheroes. There's not many superheroes debuting in the 50s. It was just before like the Marvel Age began in proper with Fantastic Four. And superheroes are kind of gone like out of fashion with Marvel. So they tried other things. Black Knight being like a fantasy series, set more like a kind of like a Prince Valiant ripoff, if we're going to be honest. It was kind of like set in the past with like Mordred, Merlin, the King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table, that kind of vibes. Morgan Le Fay was a big bad who like ended up in the Avengers. So again, bits from this were pulled into the Marvel universe, but the Sir Percy version was kind of there. He's been a bit of a mentor, come back as a ghost to Dane Whitman at times. But again, him on his horse would be a great figure if they're going to give us Danny Ketch on a bike. Put Percy on a horse.
A Marvel Legend horse would be a great shout for sure. I actually, if you go and watch my Black Knight review, my Black Knight and Cersei review from last year, at the end of the video, I think I get out the Mythic Legion's horse and put Black Knight, the older Black Knight, on it just to show people what Black Knight would look like on a Mythic Legions horse. So go and find my review for that, because yes, I would absolutely love to display Black Knight on a classic horse. But classic horse, what's the difference between a classic and modern? Oh, never mind, ignore me. But this is the Cull Obsidian Build-A-Figure wave. I was like, what's a classic? What's the difference between a classic horse and a normal horse? Never mind. And that's the helmet we are referring to. So that version did come with the helmet that best resembles the old school version that we are talking about now. Shout out Matthew, just subscribe. Are you watching live, Matthew? Let us know in the chat. But thank you very much for subscribing. So yeah, Black Knight is the first choice for the 50s. Next choice would be Frankenstein. Now, do I need to break this one down for the people? It is, of course, Frankenstein. It's the monster that you'll know, but Marvel's interpretation of the character. Just think all these monsters are fair game when it comes to pop culture. We've got Marvel's Dracula, we've got now we've got Frankenstein, we've got werewolves and all of that. So Marvel Legends Frankenstein. Now, I know there's people out there that want a Marvel Legends werewolf, that want a Marvel Legends vampire. We've had box sets in the past where we've got different versions of these characters. Have we ever got a Marvel Legends Frankenstein?
But no, I don't think we have.
That's what I'm saying.
He wasn't in.
No,
it was Dracula, Werewolf by Night, Zombie,
yeah.
and someone else.
Yeah.
Or was it Frankenstein?
I don't know. I'll have a look. The chat will tell us if I'm wrong, but I don't have a Frankenstein in my collection. That is for sure. But it is a classic monster character that could easily go into a darker sort of shelf on your collection, like a Marvel Knights type of vibe. So yeah, is this what you would want in your collection? Do you reckon this is fair game to give us?
I would love a Marvel's Frankenstein. It would have on the side of it, wouldn't it? Yes, Marvel's Frankenstein.
Yes, it would indeed.
Yeah, he was. The Carbon Scoring said he was in that box set. So yeah, he was in that box set, Frankenstein.
So we have had.
But yeah, he would be a great figure to have. An android of Frankenstein shows up and fights the X-Men early in X-Men issue 40 in 1968. But this version of Frankenstein debuts in Menace issue 7 in 1953, which is like a horror anthology written by Stan Lee. And then Frankenstein has shown up throughout the Marvel universe. I mean, he's been involved in like loads of different stories. Like even in the zombie universe he's in, Earth X, he's like a head kept by Kraven the Hunter. He's all about the Marvel universe and stuff. And he would just be a great figure to get and updated on that like big bulky body. Would be a great figure.
Yeah, so there you go. So he wasn't I wasn't sure because I never had this pack, so I didn't want to say with confidence, but thank you very much to Carbon Scoring for confirming. But yes, we have already technically had a Marvel Legends Frankenstein who was in this sort of Monsters Toy Biz pack in the day. So like Rich said, we got the Zombie Frankenstein, Werewolf by Night, and Dracula. So yeah, I have no doubts that all these characters will be updated in the Marvel Legends line within time. Of course they will, because Werewolf by Night is a layup at this point. Dracula's easy to do, especially with Blade coming out. I'm sure we're going to have Blade relevant characters coming out next year, mate, if that film doesn't get delayed again. But there you go, there's Frankenstein. If you want to see what he looks like out of the box, I just found a picture. So this is our current Marvel Legends Frankenstein. There he is. I don't have him. Rich, I'm assuming if you didn't know he was in that box, you don't have him either. But there he is.
No, I did not have that. I saw that box set quite a few times, but I have never bought it.
Yeah, I never bought it either. So there you go. We have a Marvel Legends Frankenstein. So there you go. There's our second pick from the 50s.
Do you think they actually painted that dirt on his trousers, or did someone just roll it around in the mud for a bit of the back?
Yeah, they just put all the figures.
Toy Biz back there. They're out of money.
Yeah,
Toy Biz.
they just for all the Frankenstein figures, and then just got a shovel and spade and just threw loads of mud on them. That's all it is. Actual real dirt. It is real. It says it on the box somewhere as well. It says it on the back of the box. Real dirt aesthetic. Right, let's get back to our list. So Gorilla Man is next up here, and again, this is another one where, again, hands up, I was like, okay, I'm unsure who this guy is. I thought it was like a Killer Cog. What's his name? Killer Cog. That's not his name. What's the DC version called? The big gorilla thing.
Gorilla Grodd.
What did I say? Cog. I was close. See what I mean? It's my dyslexic brain, that is. Anyway,
Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That's what this guy reminds me of. But Marvel have their own version of a Gorilla Man. Tell the people, Rich, because I'm useless.
So this is Gorilla Man, but Gorilla Man, unlike Gorilla Grodd, is good. Gorilla Man is a good character. Good. So like we've had like Frankenstein is like the horror comic books. We've had Black Knight, who was like the fantasy, and then Gorilla Man, kind of like a spy. Like he shows up in Agents of Atlas in modern times, but back in the day, he showed up in Men's Adventures. It's not what you think. It's not on the top shelf, guys. Men's Adventures, issue 26 in 1954.
No wonder I haven't seen it. I couldn't reach.
Yeah, you couldn't. Black bars on it. You couldn't see it. But yeah, but this is Kenneth. Yeah, this is Kenneth Hale. And he was like a soldier of fortune who went into the Congo to find a mythical gorilla man. And if you killed him, you became like immortal and took his powers. When he met the gorilla man, he decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take his powers. And then accidentally gunfight, shot him, and became a gorilla anyway. So that's his powers. Like, he's shown up in loads of different places. He's shown up in the X-Men, in the Avengers. He was part of the Mercs for Money, the second version of the Mercs for Money. Domino recruited him. But I think in modern times, mostly known as part of the Agents of Atlas. Agents of Atlas, great series. It's got him, it's got Jimmy Woo, it's got the android, it's got Venus, it's got Namora, all the classic like 50s lost characters brought back for modern times. It's a really good series. Highly recommend it. I think at present they like called the Agents of Wakanda. They've been recruited to Wakanda to serve there. And the Agents of Atlas are kind of like this younger team now of like Asian and Australian heroes all brought together. But yeah, Gorilla Man would just be a great character. He's a massive gorilla. Who would want a massive gorilla in a suit?
As I said, like I was unfamiliar of this character, but as a toy fan, like I like learning via the medium of figures, and like I've learned something today about Gorilla Man. And let's be honest, a gorilla with a bottle of Jack and machine guns, wearing a suit. Come on, that'd make a great action figure, like very toyetic. So yeah, I'm willing to learn about Gorilla Man, and now I want a Marvel Legend of Gorilla Man. Imagine a deluxe gorilla wearing a suit, wielding machine guns, carrying a bottle of Jack. Would you go near? You wouldn't want to mess with that guy. And he's a spy on top of that. I'm in. You have sold me on Gorilla Man. Just laughing at some of the comments in the chat. Fortress Maximus says Dracula owes Moon Knight some money. Those memes are hilarious, by the way. For years, I thought it was legit panels as well, but it's not. It's sad times. David Mitchell says, thanks for the great community. Great content, man. Started collecting last year, so it's been great finding a community who enjoys the same. David, you are welcome. Absolutely, everybody is welcome here. It's all about the love of collecting. You can love and hate whatever you want here. We don't mind. We can disagree.
Except Kitty Pride, she's not welcome.
Oh yeah, no one's allowed to like Kitty Pride. That is the one rule on this channel, I'm afraid. But you can like or dislike Gorilla Man. It's absolutely fine. But again, I've come around. I want this now. I actually want this now. He could team up with Hippo and we'll make an epic 2-pack. But early days. Early days. Don't get me too excited.
Oh, I can't wait till we get to the 2000s. There's a list of hippos.
Right, next up. It is the Rawhide Kid. So Rich was, again, explaining this one to me, so I'll throw it to Rich straight away.
So Retro Vintage is probably crying in the chat now because he wanted the Two Gun Kids for years. Now I put two cowboys, none of which are the Two Gun Kid. I couldn't fit him in any of the years. There was other characters that we needed more. I'm so sorry. But here is Rawhide Kid, who, again, like I said, so Marvel were doing other things, and going into the cowboy, they had like the Two Gun Kid Cult, and Rawhide Kid debuted in the 1950s, in 1955. Again, he's a cowboy version, and if you read modern comic books, you're probably more aware of him from the Bill Jamas version, where Bill Jamas and Joe Quesada would just make as much noise as they could, get as much publicity as they could. So how can you make a cowboy get publicity in the early 2000s? You make him gay and put him in an adults-only comic book, which is what they did in Max's Rawhide Kid. Again, it sounds awful. It's not as bad as it sounds. I think today people would be screaming that, oh my God, it's a gay cowboy. And then other people would be like, oh my God, it's a stereotype, blah, blah, blah. Like you couldn't please anyone if this was announced today. But I recommend going picking it up. It's not as bad as it seems. And the Rawhide Kid is a good looking character. Whether you like the classic version or the Max version, his look is more or less the same. So not too bad. And if you like the classic characters as well, Rawhide Kid, John Ostrander in the early 2000s does Blaze of Glory, which brings back like all of the old cowboy characters together in like a modern day take, which is much more traditional, but still with modern sensibilities. It's a really good run. He did a sequel called Apache Skies as well in 2012, I think. So go and check those out, Blaze of Glory and Apache Skies, if you like the old cowboys Really good series, highly recommend them. And they don't get enough love because, like, it's the 50s were mostly just cowboys. Cowboys were selling
Look,
Marvels. Millie the Model was selling
my,
Marvels. These deserve it. In 85 years of Marvel, it's not just superheroes. We've had how many Spider-Man
well,
have we
just
had? Did
think.
we need
Well,
another superior Spider-Man? Really, Dan?
the
Would you rather a
cowboys,
cowboy?
well, cowboys were the hero. Like, my granddad was born in the 40s, so he grew up in the 50s. His superheroes are cowboys. Do you know, like, he's got all the bloody cowboy movies and stuff on VHS and whatever back in the day. I remember seeing watching cowboy films at my grandparents' house because my granddad loved this stuff. Because, like you said, these were the heroes of that generation. Do you know? So it's the same way that the superheroes of are the sort of superheroes of this generation. It was cowboys back then. That was just what was on pop. That was what was in media. That was what was on TV and film. So yeah, let's have that represented in plastic for our Marvel Legends collection. Looking at the character design as well, it's not like overly complicated. Like, let's be honest, Gorilla Man would need a little bit of work in Marvel Legends, a bit of tooling, but I reckon they could find a way to make that happen for sure. And it's a bit of history, like you said, and that's what this is all about: celebrating the 85 years of Marvel, finding those more obscure characters. I have put the poll up in the chat right now for these 4 picks. So we are now in our 90s, 50s category. So which of these 1950s characters would you want to see in Marvel Legends the most? Friday with the Chadwick Super Chat. Thank
Chadwick
you so much.
Myers donated $5. Shoot, I'm super late. Did you already talk about the leaked Hulkbuster and Odin that Hasbro themselves accidentally posted?
No, Chadwick, we had no idea. No, we did, Chadwick. We briefly mentioned it. Chadwick says, shoot, I'm super late. But did you already talk about the leaked Hulkbuster and Odin that Hasbro themselves accidentally posted? So to be fair, I don't think the Hulkbuster was an accident. I do think that was intentional. But the Odin was definitely, I think, an accident. An oversight, I will call Odin. I think someone approving the write-up wasn't aware that hadn't been revealed or whatever. But yeah, we did mention them briefly at the start of the show because we just recapped the 10 figures. And what we're doing today, Chadwick, is we're going through the different decades of Marvel's 85 years, discussing potential characters that would be fun in Marvel Legends form, all right? Just for the sake of conversation. It's what we like to do here. And right now we have a poll up in the chat with those 50s characters. So we've got Black Knight, Frankenstein, Gorilla Man, and the Rawhide Kid. And we're already way over 50 votes. And it's very close between Frankenstein and Gorilla Man. I'm not going to lie. I might let it go for a second more while I go and get my second beverage. It's only, I literally left it at the top of the stairs, Rich. I'll be 10 seconds, all right? I'll be back, all right? Don't panic. I'll be back.
Run and grab it and see if anyone votes for Gorilla Man in the meantime or Frankenstein. The other two is going to swing it. So if you haven't voted, vote now.
I knew exactly where it was. Left it on the stairs. Now where's my bottle opener? There you go. Thanos' glove to open my Koppelberg. There we go. It's not Legend of Liquor, but that doesn't stop me, people. It doesn't stop me. Right. 65 votes. Oh, 66 now. I'm ending the poll. It was close, between Gorilla Man and Frankenstein. I think I hyped Gorilla Man a little bit too much, to be fair. I'd be very surprised if people knew him. Or maybe they did, to be fair. Jarhead says the Two-Gun Kid, please. You did mention that one, didn't you? You said you were going to choose that one, but it...
Yeah, the Two-Gun Kid is a good choice. I couldn't fit it in. There was other characters. He didn't debut in the 50s. He debuted just before, so I couldn't fit him into this list. If he'd debuted in the 50s, he would have been on this list before the Rawhide Kid. I went with the cowboy. I got a cowboy.
Yeah, got a cowboy got in there. So there you go. So Frankenstein took that poll. So congratulations to Frankenstein. We now have 3 winners. We have Human Torch, Bucky, and Frankenstein. But we have one more decade to go in today's stream. And that is the 60s. So we are moving into the 60s. So this is like the Silver Age, I guess I'd call it, where we're starting to get those characters that may be a little bit more familiar in pop culture, ones that have sort of survived the test of time. So let's get into it. First up, Mole Man. So technically, one of the first villains, right, for Marvel, full stop, period.
The first villain, the first super villain, really, because he appears in Fantastic Four issue 1, and Fantastic Four is kind of like we're modern day Marvel as we know it, with all the superheroes and everything, and to Stan Lee. That's where it begins. So in November 1961, in Fantastic Four issue 1, Mole Man and his mole monsters and moleids fight the Fantastic Four. Obviously, Fantastic Four are a great bunch that we got, but we've got them in loads of looks, and I want to do something a bit different, and we haven't had Mole Man in a long time. And what did we have revealed as a little hint at the last stream, Dan? What was there?
We had a rock, Rich. We tried to figure it out, but no one knows how this rock is. So
we had a rock. And where does Mole Man live? He lives under rocks, under the ground, in Subterranea. So who could come with a little rock? It could be Mole Man commanding that with the little Moleoid army. It could be a Moleoid figure.
Because it's so small, right? They could have put the rock accessory as a stand for Mole Man, and then you could display the Moleoids to make him look a little bit more in charge. I don't know, but we definitely are getting a rock in Marvel Legends. That's all I can confirm. But Mole Man is a good guess. I still like your guess of the Watcher, where the Watcher could stand on the little rock the same way that the Marvel Select Watcher stands on a little piece of moon or whatever it is. So maybe maybe it is a piece of moon.
And I was thinking, like, earlier, we could get, like, this year's HasLab, I said about being the Watcher, but another Fantastic Four thing we could get, especially being 85 years of Marvel Comics, is the Fantastic Four issue 1 cover with that big mole monster and, like, civilian versions of the Fantastic Four. Like, that could be something they could do. And then that rock piece could be there.
Maybe. Are they really teasing the HasLab as at the end of streams? I don't know. Maybe. So here's the Mole Man we've previously had. So again, Dark Days are Hasbro, Target Build-A-Figure, Target exclusive Build-A-Figure Wave. What Build-A-Figure was it? It was that Nihilus, maybe? Was it? Oh, it's the Executioner, Ronan the Executioner. So yes, we have had a Marvel Legends Mole Man. And to be fair, aesthetically, like, because of his character design, you probably could still fudge him into a modern day collection if you've got him. You know, it's not as bad as the Toy Biz days, even though it's probably using Toy Biz pieces. But if you've got him, he will probably still hold up in a collection. I never had him. I've never backtracked to get him. Of course, we've had the Ronan now re-released and upgraded since then, so you don't need the Build-A-Figure piece either. But we have had a little Moloid head with the with Franklin and Valeria, but there are other Moloid characters in Marvel Legends as well. So, but I would absolutely love, as we said, the original villain of Marvel, Mole Man, with some Moloids, especially celebrating Marvel 65 years. It's all about celebrating those milestones and those big moments throughout the 65 years, 85 years that have made it so successful. And yeah, Mole Man was the first villain. You can never take that away from him. Never take that away from him. So Mole Man's a good way to start off our 60s category. So Mole Man. Next up, a character you may or may not recognise, not very well known. It's, of course, the Hulk. Of course, it's the Hulk.
It's the Incredible Hulk. So this is the Hulk. Again, last year we had the Hulk issue 1, Grey Hulk with Bruce Banner. But this is the Hulk more like in his classic Avengers issue 1. Because I think with the Wasp figure now, you can kind of fudge an Avengers issue 1 like team together. I know the Thor and the Ant-Man are not Avengers issue 1, but they kind of fit. They got the same looks. Yep. But I think the Hulks that we've got do not fit with that aesthetic of Avengers issue 1. They need to do this version of Hulk with the different sculpted face, a slimmer look, and the trunks as well. And then that would fit more in with our Avengers one, with our gold Iron Man that's coming up, with Wasp that's just come up. Loki heavily hinted we're getting a new Loki this year. And that would just be a great team to put together. I think of all of them, the Hulk, they tend to reuse the same body and same look over and over again for all the Hulks they do. And there's so much variety, I think, with the Hulk that they could do. Spend some money, Hasbro, on some new molds. Do a classic looking Hulk.
Yeah, can we get the butterfly joints on the front as well instead of the back? Because all the Hulks can like bend their arms really far back, but you ask the Hulks to do a round of applause and none of them can even clap, do you know? So you'll never know if the Hulk's impressed with you or not because the man cannot clap his hands. So can we have some butterfly joints on the front of our Marvel? I know they chose, probably there was an aesthetic reason to not put the butterfly joints on the front, but it's 2024, we can make it happen now. And yeah, if we're going to get a Hulk, let's try and complete this original Avengers team. Again, iconic at this point. We're getting the gold Iron Man. We've just got this great 2-pack of Wasp in her exact look. Literally, we have the Marvel Legend in our hands right now. It was attacking Rich at the start of the stream. We have Avengers 1 Wasp. We have a Hank Pym. Now, yes, it's not that version, but by issue 2, we do get Giant Man. So that costume is relevant to the early Avengers as well. And we've got plenty of Thors that you could probably work, but the Hulk head is very unique with that flat top head. Very Frankenstein-style head, isn't it, to be fair? So, yeah, I'd love to create, like, I'd find a special place to display an Avengers 1 team on my shelf for sure. So that's what we would like to see.
Z-Man says, as a bath, if they haven't got, like, the money for a whole new mold, do a bath. If you can make Zabu, you can make a Hulk.
I would take a head at this point. Like, I'd take head at any point, to be fair. But if they just packed in that updated Hulk head with another figure, I'd pop it onto one of the Hawks, many Hawks we've already got, and it would work for the time being at least. It's just about being that representation of the figure. Again, I'm not really into figure photography and whatnot, so just speaking for myself, I don't really care too much about articulation. I do. Don't get me wrong. They're action figures. I like them to move and I'll be able to pose. But sometimes I understand the balance between aesthetic and articulation. But I do think a new head would be a good shout with another figure. But there we go. Hulk is our second pick in our 90s, 60s category. Third is Iceman, or in this picture, definitely looks like Snowy Man. But this is how he was drawn in the 60s, apparently, Rich, right?
So yeah, so I think like obviously the 60s, so many of the modern day Marvel comic book characters debuted that we've gone with. Like I think the big three would be like Avengers, Fantastic Four, and X-Men. Obviously Spider-Man is the fourth one, but we had that Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man 2 years ago and re-released again last year, and I think that's such a good version of the Amazing Fantasy look that I don't think it's in need of an update as much so far. So there will be Spider-Man in the next decade, don't worry, but just not in this one. But yeah, I think of all the original X-Men, Iceman, they've always gone for the ice look, but in the classic 60s of Marvel comic books, Iceman had more this snow look, this snowy, like he didn't really have face features, it was just his boots and this big snowy body. Like again, this is going to be another one that would need all new sculpting, so if they could do it is another thing. But I would love a snowy Iceman. That's what I want in my life, is a snowy Iceman.
Snowy Iceman. It'd be interesting to see them do it for sure. One way, again, I like getting, like, when we've got characters multiple times in Legends, like after we've got their most iconic looks, I don't mind them giving us the same character again if it's in a different costume or different look, like we have with many Spider-Man and Iron Man. So if another character has that same sort of asset, then why not use it? And then people get their friends. KJC with the super chat, thank you very much, says more Crystar figures, a skin to the Mega, please. Now, I don't recognise that name, so they may be unfamiliar, Rich, with your hatred of Crystar. So we're giving the benefit of the doubt.
But I think what KJC is saying is akin, like more Crystar figures akin to Magma, please. So he wants like a Magma translucent, which I would be happy with. So more translucent or crystallized figures. Not necessarily from the Crystar shitty comic book. No more from that, please. Thank you very much. Dan Larson's got his Crystar now. We don't need any more. He don't even cover toys anymore. Don't give him any more, Hasbro.
Look, your boy's got toys. I don't know if you've seen Legends of Liquor, but your boy's got toys as Crystar front and centre on his Asgardian display. Topless Scoob with the $5 super chat. Friday should read this one.
Topless Scoob 5,150 donated $5.
Thank you.
Did you talk to your lady about me crashing on your couch?
When did you talk to your lady about me crashing on your couch? Are you going to be wearing clothes? And when and why? Why are you coming to my house, Topless Scoob? I'm not against it.
I think you would be topless, not Topless Scoob.
Oh, that's fair. He has paid me enough, to be fair, to be topless. That's fine. Topless Scoob, just let me know the time and why are you coming to my house again? I'm very confused. But yes, all my channel members are welcome to my house at any point. That's also a perk of being a channel member. At any point, you can knock my door, and I am obliged to offer you tea. So
have you seen Baby Reindeer, Dan? Maybe give it a watch. Maybe give Baby Reindeer a watch.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, I rescind that. I changed the contract. But Topless Scoob, I appreciate you. And yeah, more Crystar. I thought Magma was a Crystar villain. Am I wrong in thinking that?
No, Magma is one of the New Mutants.
Oh, I know the New Mutants. I was thinking, was it a Crystar sort of villain? And they were.
Who cares about Crystar, Dan? Come on, move on with your life.
No, I'm right though. I knew I was right. Look, look, my quick Google search. There he is.
Magma Man.
See, so he might KJC could have been saying they want another Crystar character like Magma Man.
I like my world where he wanted the New Mutant Magma,
okay,
right?
That's
the world I'm living in, Dan, right?
That's fair. Right, let me close some tabs before I get a crashing stream. Got lots of tabs open. All right, let's go back to our list. Okay, so we've got one more character from the 60s, and then we will pick our favourite 60s design. And it is Swordsman. Now, we have spoke about Swordsman plenty of times on the stream recently, especially last year when we were sort of talking about the Avengers anniversary, because Swordsman is an Avenger that we have never got in Marvel Legends form. He has technically been on the roster at some point, and it is one of those classic characters that we just haven't had yet. Again, it's been over 20 years of Marvel Legends, and for whatever reason, we've just never got a Swordsman. So characters like Jack of Hearts and Swordsman are Avengers characters we just haven't had. So I think characters like this have to be on their radar. It's just a place to fit them in. He did appear in the live action, or a version of him appeared in the live action Hawkeye show, so that could have been an opportunity for Hasbro to sort of find him in the wave, but not to be just yet. Maybe in the future. I can imagine this character being in like a Build-A-Figure wave. That's how they get him in there. I don't know, but Swordsman I do hope we get sooner rather than later. But Swordsman, another one that you'd like to add to the collection as well, Rich, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think I've said before on many a stream that of all the Avengers characters in chronological order, he is like the oldest one that we haven't had. Like, we've had everyone before him. And like, he shows up first of all in 1965 in Avengers 19, but he's like a bad guy then. Then he eventually joins the Avengers, I think in Avengers 100. Finds the love of his life with Mantis. Like, there's a lot going on. Obviously, he's the mentor to Hawkeye, like in the TV show as well. And he would just be a great character to have, like with a lot of articulation. Give him his swords, all his different weapons.
Comic
he
Mantis
would be great.
2-pack. I said a Build-A-Figure wave, but continuing the pattern of Marvel Legends, giving us 2-packs that make sense. How about a Comic Mantis and a Swordsman in a 2-pack?
And I will say that so far the 85th anniversary figures that they've revealed have all been great. But my only criticism is there's not one new character to the line. Everything is either re-releases or different uniforms. It's nothing. There's no new or most wanted characters. There's no like Rachel Summers in there or Watcher or something different. So hopefully these last two will be something new. I would really not, and I'm not saying like something from the last 5 years. I just mean a character that we haven't had before, first time in the line type of character.
Looking at that list, most of the stuff we have had in the last decade, most, not all of it, because I don't think we've technically had a Danny Ketch in the last decade. Maybe Scar, that what was it? The Fin Fan Foom wave was over a decade. But Warbird, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage, we've had plenty of Wolverines. If you want to get Pacific with Astonishing. We've had an Odin, but it was the All-Father Build-A-Figure wave in 2015, so even that was within the decade. Hulkbuster, haven't had a comic one since the Toy Biz days, to be fair, so that one's overdue. But like Rich said, a lot of the characters they've chosen so far to celebrate the vast 85 years of Marvel have been modern interpretations of characters. Like Superior Spider-Man and Astonishing Wolverine are modern representations from certain modern arcs. I say modern, they're still... depending on your age, I guess they're a little bit old now at this point, but within this sort of modern era. So yeah, I do feel like this 85 years they have yet to celebrate or go back and give us some deep cut classic characters to really celebrate the scope and the 85 years in total. But Swordsman would make a great shout, as we've been celebrating the Avengers anniversary. Like Rich said, it's an Avenger we haven't had, is an old character. So finishes our lineup for our 60s category. So the poll is now live in the chat. It has been for a minute. It says, which of these 60s characters would you most want in Marvel Legends form? Just to remind you, they're on the screen right now. We have Mole Man, which I desperately want in Marvel Legends form. I never brought the previous one. I want a new one. Is that Rock accessory to tease a new Mole Man? Possibly. A Hulk to represent his appearance in Avengers 1 to go along with the new Wasp, etc. and the Gold Iron Man. We've got a snowy version and an Iceman representing the X-Men down there. And then we've also got a Swordsman as well. KJC is back again. Thank you very much. Says, Lavor, I forgot her name. She looks dope. Is that another Crystar character? I think we've just got a Crystar fan in the chat, Rich. That's what we've got going on. Let me have a look.
Yeah, Lava is a Crystar character.
See, I was right. It's not a New Mutants character. Is that her? Has she had a figure before, KJC? I'm trying to Google it real quick, but thank you very much, KJC. Yeah, to be fair, I think Dan Larson would buy enough to fill the quota of a Crystar wave anyway, if that was to be. So, We shall see. We shall see. But thank you very much for the super chat. Rich is a fan of female characters, to be fair, so maybe he could be tempted. Maybe female.
But I hate Krista.
But maybe it could be the gateway in. That's all I'm saying, Rich. I'll just give it a chance. Give it a chance.
Oh, gateway drug. Tempt me into the world of Krista.
Right. So the poll, 64 votes so far, and it seems like Swordsman is going to be our winner. I'll wait for one more vote, and then I'll close it, and then we're going to finish the stream with one more vote of all the winners. Okay, so all the winners are going to be in one more poll before we get out of here. Okay, so I'm ending the poll right now. If you're on the replay crew, hopefully you can see that on the screen. Moleman, and I think my vote would be for Moleman on this occasion, but I'm not mad about Swordsman. I think Rich would vote for Swordsman. Am I right? Yeah, Rich would vote for Swordsman. So Hulk was 17, Iceman 18, Swordsman 36% compared to Moleman's 29. So I'm ending that poll, and Swordsman is our winner. So I'm just going to take a note of that. And now we have our 4 winners for the 4 different decades. And we are going to vote for the favourite, and that will be the winner of this stream, the winner of these decades that we would like to see in Marvel Legends form. So just to recap, the 30s, the 90s, 39.
Oh, hang on. Daniel St. John's in the chat. You overlooked the all-winner squad. How could you? Bucky the Wizard, Miss America, Original Human Torch, Bucky, plus Division. Come on, you guys. Dan and Rich. Daniel S. John, go back like an hour. I think you missed that stream where we mentioned Bucky, where we mentioned the Human Torch, where we mentioned Toro.
Look,
they're all on there. Just rewind.
Let's go back.
Rewind, Daniel St. John.
Daniel St. John. I know people love to jump in with their knowledge, all right, but you have just exposed that you have jumped in late and not watched the stream. Right, here we go. Right, from the start. Submariner, the Angel, Human Torch. He's on your list. The Masked Raider. There's the 4 from the 1939 debut year. Then into the 40s, we're only picking 4 characters from each year. So, of course, there are going to be a few that we miss. But if you listen to the stream, we do give you our reasoning for picking these characters. Again, for the sake of conversation. That's all it is. Original Captain America, Bucky, the Destroyer and the Wizards part of that sort of Forgotten Warriors. And then, of course, the one you didn't mention, Daniel S., was Millie the Model. Where was she in your list?
She wasn't technically part of the all-winner squadron, Dan. So wasn't a member. She was busy on the runway that day.
I'll shut up. The Black Knight, Frankenstein, Gorilla Man, who was another favourite amongst the chat. Rawhide Kid. There's your 4 from the 50s, and then into the 60s, you've got Mole Man, Hulk from the first Avengers, Iceman, and Swordsman. Okay, so that is how we ended up, and that is now how we've got our list of the 4. So I'm going to make a new poll to see us out from today's stream. And we're only joking, Daniel St. John. We are obviously we say that with love. We appreciate you watching the stream. Just a bit of banter.
I'm not. Fuck you, Daniel St. John. You wanker. Fuck you.
He's only joking. He's a funny guy. That right. Let's let me start the new poll. So, new poll. Which of these characters would you like to see? Which of these characters would you like to see most in Marvel Legends? So we've got Human Torch, original OG Human Torch, if you will. Then we've got Bucky, who I think might win this poll. That's my prediction. That's why I think the chat's going to go. Frankenstein was another favourite from the chat. And then Swordsman as well. So it's between, for me, just looking at these 4 options, I do think, just go based off what the chat have been talking about, Human Torch is always going to be a contender, but I do think it's between Bucky and Swordsman. So the poll is now live in the chat for you guys to decide today's winner. Okay, so we've been talking about 4 different decades of Marvel, and again, next week we will be talking about the 70s, 80s, 90s. All right, so this week we have just focused on the 30s to the 60s. So these are our contenders, and already popular choices, as all of them are getting votes in out of the gate.
And 2 are members of the all-winner squadron as well, Dan. Hooray!
Daniel St. John is happy about this one. Capitalist says, can't wait for the 70s, 80s, and 90s stream. Yeah, that will be next week, my friend. As, again, we don't think there's going to be many Marvel Legend reveals in the next couple of weeks as these new pre-orders roll out. So to fill that gap, we will celebrate Marvel's 85 years in the only way we know how, and that is via the medium of action figures and talking about what characters we would like to add to our ever-growing Marvel Legends line. Again, the line has been going for 21 years. Marvel on a hot streak at the minute. So far, so good with what they've been revealing. So long will the year continue with some great updates, pinless figures with all the heads and hands that Bug Nice needs. And I say that with love because heads and hands make a Marvel Legend for sure. Right, so I'm letting that roll. Nearly 50 votes. 40% so far with Bucky. He's took a strong lead, which I thought he would. Thought he would win this one. I do think Bucky... Out of those 4, Rich, then, I'm still going to say you'd lean to Swordsman, to be fair.
Yeah, because he's not a member of the All-Star Squadron, who I fucking hate now as much as Chris Starr. Down with the All-Star Squadron!
Now you've got the All-Star Squadron on the same list of Kitty Pryde and Chris Starr. Look what you've done, Daniel St. John. Look what you have done. Greg says, I'm 49 and kept... for movies, that's the first time I've heard wanker used in real time. I'm dying laughing. Yeah, we're British. That's what you get when you're British. It does occasionally slip out. Okay, so there you go. The poll. I'm going to let the poll go to 60, even though I think Bucky is our winner here. So a few more votes, but hopefully the replay crew can see this happening on screen. We've got Human Torch, Bucky, Frankenstein, and Swordsman, each of them representing a different decade in the early years of Marvel. But yeah, Bucky Barnes, there you go. So he wins it with 42% of the vote. So there you go. Bucky Barnes, Marvel legend. The community have spoken, Hasbro. If you are lurking, it is a new Bucky that people want. Where's my image of Bucky gone? I closed it. I need to get it back. Marvel Legends Bucky. Let's have a look. Where did he go? Every image I Google now is the new Bucky Barnes that we recently got, to be fair.
Google.
What was the Builder figure he was in? What was the Builder figure he was in? Builder fig.
The Brood
yes,
Queen.
Brood Queen. You are correct. Yes. Right. There you go. I found my image. There you go. Let's throw him on the screen. So this is it. The community have spoken. This is what... The blurry bird. What happened to the nice image I had a minute ago? Why have I just found a blurry image? But there he is. The community have spoken. That is the version of Bucky Barnes that people want in their Marvel Legends collection. The non-blurry version, though, for whatever reason. I found a better image. I'm not leaving this stream until I found a better image. Come on now.
Enhance.
I know. I'm trying to use that old school 90s technology. I had a good picture a minute ago. That's what's annoying. Will this one be better? Well, this one's not as smaller. Oh, that'll do. Whatever. You know what it looks like. I showed you earlier. Rewind the stream with Daniel St. John and you'll see a decent picture of Bucky.
Daniel St. John got it on his shelf. He's got it in his hand now. He's showing his Bucky off. Well done, Daniel St. John.
Well, that's what we need. We need a new one of this. This is okay. The community have spoken. That is what we have came out of with today's stream. We need a new Marvel Legends Bucky to go with our plenty of Captain Americas on the collection. But either way, we will be back next week to discuss the next decades of Marvel. We are moving into the 70s, the 80s, the 90s.
Are we not doing the All-Winner Squadron stream next week? Are we going to hold off on that one?
Not now. We'll save it.
Save it. Daniel St. John, when you're available, let us know. And you can come on that one. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, you'd be a special guest. Make sure we don't forget anything. So, yeah, there you go. So, celebrating Marvel's 85 years. So, as always, the stream is ending now for you guys. But if you are a channel member at the Members Club tier, the Dan Who Deluxe, you get to come and see the extra show right now, all right? So, if you're not, let me show you what it's all about. So the show continues for an extra half an hour for the Who Crew Deluxe tier. And also, you can be on the show because I will give you the link to the Zoom call. So Daniel St. John, become a channel member at the Who Crew Deluxe tier and come on board, my friend. Come and talk to us about the Winner's Circle or whatever it's called, because Rich is dying to know. The All Winners Squad.
Come and win me over to the All Winners Squad.
Indeed. But yes, if you are a Who Crew Deluxe member of the channel membership, hit that join button. There's several tiers. Who Crew Deluxe tier gets you into the bonus show. And you should all know what that is now, because last week I left it public and let everybody get a taste, all right? It's the purple design. It's the purple logo. So that is what it's all about. But Bucky is our winner today, and we will remember that, and I'll make sure as we do these streams we take a note of these winners and see who the most wanted Marvel legend of the 85 years is, and then I will feed that back to Hasbro, and then they will ignore me. That's usually how that works. So that's what we will do. But we are going to continue the stream on the after show. So if you are going to be joining us on the after show, have a little think about what character from those first 4 decades of Marvel you would like to have. All right, I want you. That's going to be the question for the after show for our guests. What character from the first 4 decades? It could be one of the characters to make it easier that we have spoke about today. So that will make it a little bit easier.
It should not be what we've named today. It's got to be your own your own thought got into it.
Carbon Scoring says, good fun, guys. Thanks. Go and check out Carbon. He's got these boxes all over his house. These mystery boxes he pulls out of thin air. But I do love his content. I definitely a fan of Carbon Scoring. He's a good man as well and can do a good interview with the lads. Interviewing the lads is not an easy skill. But Carbon Scoring had a good interview with the Marvel team last time round. So go and check out Carbon Scoring. But I'm sure you already are. But I'm very jealous of all these boxes he's got hidden around his house. Do you not display anything, Carbon Scoring? Are they all in boxes? I want to see his displays. It's just displays of boxes. I don't get it. Carbon Scoring. You cracked the code anyway. That's what he's doing. Crack that algorithm. Right, Mikey Moon Boots is in there as well. Right, I'm going to get out of here. But before we do, Rich, tell the good people where they can find you online.
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm in the All Winner Squadron fan club, reading my All Winner Squadron comic books. But apart from that, you can find me at Displayed Ones on Instagram. I wouldn't joke it down and say, John, I love you, really. You can find me on Instagram. I'm here most Thursdays when I'm not out drinking. I will be here. I will be here next week.
Unless I approve his annual leave, he's not going anywhere, and he's not. I've checked the inbox, and so far no requests are in there. So for the
next week's is the good era. It's the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We might even split the 90s up into two and the 80s into two because we got enough content. Because we did 4 this week. We could do 70s, 80 to 85. 86 to 90, 91 to 95, and that's 4. And then save 95 to 2000, and then do like 2000s, 2010s, 2020s all in one last stream then.
We can break that down. Not a problem. So join us next week, all right? For the next couple of weeks, we will be celebrating the 85 years of Marvel via the medium of Marvel Legends, talking about the characters that we need upgrades of or we don't have at all. Because again, over 20 years of Marvel Legends, and there are still plenty of characters we do not have, okay? So we're just trying to put them into the zeitgeist. We know that the team like to lurk occasionally. Hopefully they have their pen and pad out and they are taking notes. They're obviously not. They just laugh at us for our suggestions. But still, this is what we'll be doing, all right? So come and join us on the
Millie the model? Millie the fucking model? Who are these guys? That's what somebody has for saying right now.
Probably. But we're going to the after show. Thank you very much to everybody. No Legends and Liquor or anything this weekend. No, I'm just checking. That's right. Amanda wants me to go out for a roast dinner. Exciting times.
Yeah.
What
are you gonna have? What meat you gonna have? What meat?
Turkey, chicken.
Nice.
Yeah, it's all right. The roast dinners bore me, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Just personally, but that could be a whole nother stream. Right, we're getting out of here, Rich. Where's my end stream?
As full as you can, get as full as you can.
Yeah, Amanda has loads of roast potatoes. Let me know your favourite part of a roast dinner in the comments below, all right? And let me know your favourite characters that we talked about today from those 4 decades of Marvel. And we'll be back next week to celebrate even more decades. Let's celebrate all 85 years of Marvel with Marvel Legends.